Hi everyone, I'm back in my home in Mumbai and I have some amazing news for you. Yes, Arjun Erigaisi has won the Stepan Avagyan Memorial with one round to spare. He scored 6 out of 8, won 4 games, drawn 4 games, and is the champion because the next placed player is on 4.5 points. It just blows my mind how Arjun manages to do this. He betters himself every single time. And guess what? Because of this victory, Arjun is now at 2779. Oh, 2780, close to it. And if he wins the last round, he might even reach to 2783 or 84, which is just unbelievable. He's inching very close to the 2800 mark. He started this tournament with 2770 and then he gained 9 elo points and he reached here. Now, what was really amazing about Arjun was his 8th round game that he beat Volodar Murzin. And Murzin is known as a very technical player. He's an endgame expert. He likes to grind small advantages. And Arjun actually beat him in his own domain. So I just want to show you this game. It started off as Berlin. Arjun plays d3, anti-Berlin. And then this move a4, just so that you are having a different territory, not the normal theoretical lines. But the game was very equal because the knight jumped to d4, he traded, bishop takes, knight e2, and then c6, he took on d4, ed, and bishop c4. And I thought, okay, Arjun has something here, he has the bishop pair, so he can at least fight for an edge. But then d5 came, ed, knight d5, queen f3, bishop e6. It felt like black was fighting back. Knight c7, he traded the bishops. So now Arjun doesn't even have the bishop pair advantage. But this is when Murzin plays this move, queen d5. I'm not a big fan of this move. But, well, Arjun took knight d5, rook e6, f e6. And there is a small weakness on e6. But the king can always come to f7 and protect it. Like, will Arjun ever be able to create something out of this? And the way Arjun did it is just mind-blowing. He first pushes his pawn to a5 so that he clamps the queen side pawns with this pawn. Okay, then he brings his rook over to a4, at some point. Like, first he brings his king in, king f1, king e2. Then Murzin was also on the ball. He played when Arjun went c4, he did the opposite, pushed his pawn to c4. Very important move because the pawn being on dark square here on c3 really limits the bishop. But Arjun went rook a4, he forced king d3, he took there. Then he made this move rook h4, which was a very interesting move because he forces another pawn to come on a dark square, right? And then he plays rook f4. At some point, I think Arjun could have played better. Instead of this move h4 which he played, he could have gone rook f3. With the idea of maybe swinging the rook over to d3, which could have been very useful because the rook trade in this position is very, very strong. But okay, Arjun went h4, and then, this accuracy that he had of converting this endgame was simply phenomenal. He managed to, I think at some point where Murzin had to go knight d6. It was important for him to play this move. But instead he went rook f8. And you will see that how Arjun's move rook b1 created a lot of pressure on the b7 pawn. So the trades happened, like he brought his king to c6, rook b6, king c5, rook b7, king c4. It felt like black's king was getting active, but Arjun was just very accurate. First this move bishop b2, very accurate. Then bishop a3. Then takes on a6, then bringing the rook back to b3. And then, even though he takes on f2, a6, a7, bringing your king in, and finally this check and finished. I mean, how can you play against such a guy who's so accurate? He just didn't give his opponent any chances. And I don't know where Arjun's going next now. Because, is he coming back home? Is he going somewhere? No clue. We have to figure this out. But first, he will play the last round against Manuel Petrosian today. This will be very exciting. I'm rooting for Arjun to sort of win this and reach 2784. I think I'd asked in my last video what will be Arjun's rating at the end of this tournament, and he has already reached 2779. Who knows, maybe he'll reach 2782 or 83. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Do send in your best wishes to Arjun in the comment section. I think the guy is just doing some brilliant things.